What's up, everybody? This is the Creator Dreams podcast, and we have some great questions that we've come up with just to have a good discussion about. I think they're questions that people probably have in their head. Maybe they just haven't had the discussion. So, what me and Bert the Wordsmith are going to do is just have that conversation and then see if you guys align with it, disagree, agree, whatever it may be. But at least it's been discussed. And here are the questions. Are major labels adapting or becoming obsolete? How do artists win in this evolving landscape as far as music let's just be music centric a little more with this one. And then as you age, do you feel there are eras of your creativity? So do you feel like you're in a different era as you age? And if so, what are they, or where do you feel your era should go next? And do you feel you need a website yet? And lastly, do you know the difference between a generalist and a specialist? Why we're in the era of going back to being a generalist? Those are the questions. Drop the drums. All right. Bert the Wordsmith. What's up, bro? Introduce yourself again
Man,
since
just chilling, man.
we doing this shit.
Bert the Wordsmith, aka KJiz, for those that know, back in the building again, man. Just here to kick some knowledge for the people, man.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. All right, let's drop the music. All right. Besides that, any updates or anything going on with you, man? As far as music, life in general, since the last time we talked?
Man, got a crazy track with a Pello and keys coming soon. That's all I can say. Crazy, heartfelt,
Okay.
a lot of pain, that real hip hop, the grimy stuff nobody wants to talk about. Everybody wants to talk about like killing and money, but they don't want to talk about life. So we're going to hit them with some life.
Okay. Heck yeah. And as far as myself goes, that beat that you just heard, everybody, that is a song that I'm making right now. I just finished the second verse of it, and now I got to do some arrangement. And the sounds that you were hearing were the second part of my song because I'm having a weird concept where I'm trying to put in two songs with two different drum patterns inside of it. And actually, let me just show you exactly what I'm talking about real quick. So you can hear that. That's one drum pattern, right? And then see what I just did there? I turned it into an EDM track, and I could even go a little deeper with like some deep house. So back to UK garage drum patterns. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with this song, and I just thought it was a cool idea. So definitely thinking outside of the box with this one. But besides that, me and Bert the Wordsmith have been putting out a lot of content lately, right? So we're working together with not only this podcast, but also Money Watt Entertainment. And we're just doing what we love to do and learning as we go and evolving as we go. And he's been releasing some shorts, and you're saying that they're actually, becoming pretty good. Like you're seeing a good outcome. Is that correct?
Man, I'm seeing an amazing outcome thanks to you once again. Like I feel like that we've already covered the music aspect of it. And I feel like now they get to actually see who we are. And I think they've been waiting for years to actually see our face and hear us talk, how we think. And here it is.
Exactly, man.
So they get to see us. This is who we
Yeah,
are, man.
what you're seeing on the shorts, what you're seeing on these podcasts, like this is us 1000%. All we really did was just started recording our discussions that we've had and input a little more thought into the questions. And that's why we're challenging ourselves with having these discussions and coming up with good discussions for people to hear and give their input as well. So yeah, I'm also seeing a good outcome as far as my shorts go. And I was actually watching, what was it, Think Media today, and he did a little review on the CEO of YouTube, and he was talking about where YouTube is going and what they're going to be investing a lot more in and where to go for us creators. If you guys don't know, YouTube has, within the last 4 years, they have paid creators $100 billion in like total. And it's
Wow.
expected to 6x or 8x as far as the creator economy, as far as the creator economy goes. It's supposed to 6 to 8x within the next 10 years with how much money is getting paid to creators and how much money is revolving in the content creator world. So that directly ties into the last question, which is the difference between a generalist and a specialist. But before we do that, let's discuss these more simple questions as far as major labels and art. Do you feel that they're becoming obsolete, like not being necessary in today's music world? Does that make sense?
Personally, I feel the major labels are not hitting like they did in the 90s and 2000s. You got La Russell from the Bay and other cat's name. I forgot his name. I think his name's Russell. La Russell and Russell. I
Russ?
don't know if
Russ, like
that's
the
his name.
independent artist?
Yes. Okay. So you got Russ and you got La Russell, and La Russell is like he's in the Bay. They're doing the same thing. I feel like they are killing the industry because they have the perfect team. You know what I mean? And with the perfect team, you can defeat them easily nowadays. It's not the same. You're not getting you can't get blacklisted. You know what I mean? And so many labels want to sign them, but they push that to the side, because they have their own vision in it. If they sign that label, they don't own their music. They don't own nothing. It's been exposed that once the label signs you can go bad boy, you can go death row. Once you sign, they can put you on the shelf and shut you up. You know what I mean? And that's what happened with Kid Cudi when he signed with Jay-Z. They put him on the shelf. Oh wait, Kanye. He signed with Kanye and they put him on the shelf and he was so dope. But it was just like, damn, only if he had the opportunity to just independently do his thing, we would still hear him. We haven't heard him in years. So I think
I
that
agree, man. I believe that it's kind of weird, right? Because as far as hip hop goes, the arena that a lot of people are in, I would say once you identify like if you're trying to go underground or mainstream or a little bit of it in the middle, right? How bad do you want to be signed? And I feel like based off that discussion that me, you, and Keys had, like just through the chat when he dropped that Bolo the producer video, like the reaction video, it triggered a lot of people because uh, I guess people want a freaking deal still. Like nowadays, they still want a deal, and I don't know why.
I can speak for myself and say, like, back in the day, man, I did want a deal. And then I got to this point where I was just like, it's not about money, it's about the message. And I think the people that want to sign the deal don't have a high IQ. I'm not hating on them, but that's just how I feel. That they're not really thinking outside the box, like La Russell and all these Tech Nine. Let's talk about a dude that's like way back. Tech Nine does his own thing. He created his own thing, bro. And I'm pretty sure they've offered him the world, but he stuck to his guns and, hey, I want to put my music out. I want to own my music and whatever I make off of it's cool. But I know Tech Nine's always been about just dropping dope shit, and that's what we do. We just drop dope shit. There's like probably pieces missing to the circle, but if we had these pieces, we would be just as live. We're already dope, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And I think the era of becoming a record label, that's going to be, well, I don't think, I feel like I've done enough research to have a lot more conviction when it comes to saying this, but I do feel like that's going to be for the top 1% of, when I say top, I mean, money invested in an artist. That doesn't mean that they're the top, like the best artist. That just means that they're just a lot more funded, right? And that's only going to be for the top 1% of funded artists, to be very specific. And then as far as the independent world, people are just making it off TikTok, becoming like just doing things independently. And there really isn't a necessity to have a record label, in my opinion, unless you are just groomed to be an artist for a major label. Like I don't see the fulfillment and I just don't see it. I don't see it as a positive thing. I just feel like you'll be a part of the machine and you don't really have the musical freedom that, creators just are hungry for.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, to answer the question, man, like the record labels have died. The record labels have died to me. Like I said, man, I think of what it would take the right team. If you had the correct pieces and if everybody on the team was about, let's just say you as the artist, if we're all about you, we're going to make it, bro. And we could all be artists, right? But if we're all about pushing, sharing, commenting, and let's get crazy and say, come out the pocket and, hey, let's all put $25 on a promotion. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we got to believe in each other that hard, and I feel like
I
you can
agree
make it.
with you. My bad. I agree with you about like 80% of the way I agree with you. And what I mean by that is, but when you say making it, we got to define what making it means for us. Like me, you, the team, right? Like, or whatever team that the viewers
Mhm.
are part of. Like, what does making it
Yeah,
mean? Is that like, so
yes,
I guess let's
make
answer that question first.
no, go ahead. My bad.
No, I was saying, let's answer that question first. At least for our team, what does making it mean?
Making it is basically just getting our voice out to the mass. You know what I mean? That to me, I mean, money's always cool and shit, but like I think just like the world hearing us, I feel like I haven't asked everybody in the group, but I feel like that's a thing right there, like for everybody to hear what you gotta say. You know what I mean? If it's through music, through podcasts, through whatever, that's what I mean.
So, getting people like, so for us, from your perspective, it is having people hear our music is making it, and then let's put a number to that. Like, how many people? I know we can say as many people as possible, but does that mean people hearing our music and hearing it and then pressing next to the next track, like not our track, like we're just like part of a playlist, and like going on to the next, or people? I would say, and you're probably gonna agree with me, on this one, but I would say people valuing our music is
Yes.
a little more intentional with what we're doing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's better words than what I had, but yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay. So making it is for people to value our music. And then the way that they will value our music is by appreciating the quality of the music.
And
Okay.
appreciating that, man, like yeah, I remember.
Okay. And then I would say, like, this is probably good therapy for all of us, even the viewers, right? When I say that, I mean, every one of the group's artists or the team, we got to identify what does making it mean to them as well. Because if it's income, I was going to say, like, during your first statement is, and it's been noted, like, from me doing some research, it always comes down to, do females like our music and do kids like our music? And if they like our music, then the men at the end will like the music, and that is what's necessary if we want to make it financially with the music stuff. Women have to like it first, then kids will eventually like it, and then the men will like it. That's more for mainstream, but let's talk about like raw hip hop. In my opinion, I believe that
Mhm.
making it within the raw hip hop field, you have to appeal to the people that value that music, right? So you have to be in those places and you have to stay consistent with your style and or evolving style, which mean within the same ingredients of your consistency, and then having them value. But honestly, I feel like a lot of artists or people that like underground hip hop, they like what they like, and you have to beat through that wall. I feel like there's a wall, especially amongst artists, between artists. Like, there really is no, I'm going to listen to your music and you're going to listen to my music. I feel like within the underground community. So yeah, man, just understanding where we're at as far as what is making it mean would be ideal for us.
No, I think that's probably one of the dopest questions you could ask for everybody that's, they got 10 toes into it would be like, hey, what's making it to you mean? And I think that's a great question for upcoming groups, people, artists. If anything you do is to ask the circle, like, what's making it to you? Because I think that's a dope ass question. That's probably a huge question to ask everybody in the circle so you can see where everybody's mind's at on that. You can't beat that
Yeah,
question, brother.
thanks,
That's
bro.
huge.
I would say too, like, if you're gonna make it, what are the mechanism or what are the tools needed to make it? Once you identify what making it is, like, okay, now that we know what we need, the house, like, I want to be heard, that's the house. And like, what are the
Mhm.
tools that we need to build that house? So like,
Yes.
asking you that, what tools do you feel that you need to build the house? And then I'll add along what I feel as well, so like
Yeah.
the viewers can know.
What tools do I Yeah, okay. So the tools, man, I feel like a videographer. I don't know if I said that right. What we're doing right now, I mean, we're all pretty much producers. You know what I mean? We produce our own stuff. So and we come up with our ideas and we all vibe to ideas. Damn, that's a great question. That's a great
I would
question.
say,
I mean, a
uh,
little
oh, go ahead if you have more.
no, that was it.
Okay, okay. So you're right. And this goes into that generalist and specialist idea. Now, before I get into that, yes, you need a videographer. So you need a camera, right? You need some sort of software or hardware to make the music, a microphone. If it's not in the music arena, then it can be just talking, creating content for YouTube, and that means you just need an
Mhm,
iPhone. So
mhm,
going from there, those are the main tools. I would say then you also need to find out what you're passionate about, right? Whether that be
mhm,
a genre of music or multi genres in music, but you got to be obviously yourself. And from there, you can start creating the content and then learning as you go. But
mhm,
going into the like the generalist and specialist thing, what I mean by that is this is from Dan Coe, Dan space Koe. He had a very great video about this. Now, if you're a specialist, that means you are an individual that is focused in one area of
mhm.
when you're like focused on one discipline, like one specific thing, like a lawyer is focused on law, a specific doctor is
Uh,
focused on a certain part of the body. So people go to college for that type of stuff, and then they become a specialist about in something. A producer that just produces music or an engineer that just engineers music, they're going to be considered a specialist. The
mhm.
arena is changing within the music arena. And what I mean by that is people are starting to become generalists. That means that they're generally good at multiple things. So you have to be the videographer, you have to be the editor, the producer, the rapper or singer or vocalist. Then you also have to be your engineer and your distributor, so you're not the best at anything, but you're becoming decently good or good enough to get the mission accomplished. Any
So I got
thoughts
something to
on
add to that.
that you want to add on? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, on that man. So it was probably 5, 6 years ago. There's a dude I worked with. He listened to my music and he goes, and I talked to him. We were having a conversation, and I said, "Hey, I want to do videos. I want to make beats. I want to rap. I want to blah blah blah." Just kept going, right? And he looks at me and goes, "What are you?" And I go, "Like, what kind of question is that?" He said, "What are you?" And me not understanding what he was talking about, I started to get mad. I was like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" He goes, "What are you?" I said, "A rapper." He goes, "Well, rap then." And I said, shit, it clicked. You feel me? That goes to the being good at that one thing and like focusing and being awesome at that one thing. A lot of people are good at a lot of things. Like they try to be the video, they try to be, but they don't focus enough to be great at that thing. They're spreading it. But that percentage is thin. But like, are they a dope MC? Because they're spreading themselves. You know what I mean? There's people that are, they've reached their 100%. So now they're focusing on this. That's different. But if you're trying to do all of it, I don't feel like you're at 100% on none of it. Your percentage can't be because you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. But there's somebody who's doing photography that's 100%. And if you get with them, boom. If you get with the video guy, boom. I think we all try to fill those blocks because we have nobody to really lean on. So that's what makes you go, okay, or they cost too much. Could be the cost of the person. So it's like, I can't do it because. But yeah, when he said that to me, I was like, man, I want to be a rapper and I want to be an MC, and I yelled it when we had a heated conversation. But at the end of that conversation, I understood what he was saying. He said, focus on
So
you focus on what you do.
So what I was gonna say now is I'm gonna spin you for a loop, man. The era of being a specialist due to technological advances has flipped that
Mhm,
in a complete 180 because when you are a specialist, you can be hired for that specific task, right? Now, think about the people nowadays. What are they saying about their jobs now that AI is here, right? Like
mhm,
they're scared that they might lose their job, right? A lot of specialists are in fear of losing their job because nowadays, do you need a teacher or can you have a AI agent teach with more charisma and more IQ than the person that went to college is teaching, right?
mhm,
So now we're everything became so centralized. If you need to go get an education, it was go to college, right? Get a degree, and then like that's it. Now, if you wanted to be a mechanic, you go to mechanic school or college, right? Become an ASE certified technician or a trade school and then become that, right? But that was meant for people that are just trying to have a specific career, a specialist career. Nowadays, because of
Mhm.
technological advances, just raised the competition even more. So now you can have AI help edit your music video, help you with your lyrics, help
Mhm.
you with your beat, even though, people can say, no, I don't want that. Help basically what I'm trying to say is push the output out even more, right? And then you
Mhm.
won't have to hire that videographer or photographer because you are now a
Mhm.
generalist. When a farmer was a farmer back in the day, they did everything. They were the mechanic to their tractor. They were the farmers. They raised their cattle. They did everything. They weren't the best at everything, but the food was
Mhm.
abundant. So I'd argue that now it's like a pendulum. Like we go from generalist, then the industrial age came around, became a specialist because people
Mhm.
need to learn how to use those tools. And now technology's leaning the other way where you need to become a generalist now. So now you do need to be the videographer, editor, everything now. But now you have tools to help you do that. And we
Mhm.
need to show the viewers what tools they got to use.
Yeah. I feel like with you saying like, okay, so we have AI to do the majority, let's say. That's still now for the specialist, that's perfect. You feel what I'm saying? Like for someone
Mhm.
that's been doing it, now they have all these tools make sense. A lot of these like a lot of MCs are using all these things, but they just started last week, so they don't have. I don't know. They really don't have it. I'm not gonna say they don't have it fully. I don't know because the world listens to what they listen to. But for guys like me, AI would just be. I'm a specialist at this, and now I can use AI. Yeah, I would have to figure it out and stuff like that, but that would make me stronger. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't know if that's what you were saying or,
Yeah,
but.
that's exactly what I'm saying, man. That goes into like our other question, which was how do artists win in this evolving landscape? Because the creators field that all of these creators are playing, it's a moving target.
Mm,
Like you have to adapt, right, and pivot where necessary in order to stay ahead or a competitor that's very competitive, you know?
I obviously with times you have to adapt. If you don't adapt, then you're probably gonna fall off. I mean, especially with how fast things are moving. So like you said with the AI, not that everybody needs AI, but boy, that could help you out in a scene. It could help you out. I mean, nowadays it helps you out with lyrics. It does everything that you needed to do. So like I would say you have to evolve with the times.
Yeah.
You really have to. I mean, they used to make cars by hand. Then when they went to machine, they pushed out more cars. You know what I'm saying? Not that they were better or whatever, but things were moving a lot faster, and cost were less. You know what I mean? So that's probably the best example I can think of off the top.
Yeah, man. So there was a statistic. I don't remember who published it, but I'll have to note that in my comments. But people that are using AI are 40% ahead of people that aren't using AI. And that doesn't necessarily mean lyrics.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean beats. It means large language model aiding you. LLMs is large language model. Think of it as ChatGPT. Think of it as Grok, a Gemini. Those are large language models. Now, when you publish
Mhm.
a video on YouTube, you're typing in your description, right? And you're talking about what this video is about. And that's probably going to take a good one, might take you about 30 minutes to an hour to just make. What I do, which is the upper edge, in my opinion, is every video that I have, the transcript is being created of our conversation, and then an LLM within Riverside is making my description, giving me titles, giving me shorts, giving me this whole thing, right?
Mhm.
The smart layout, like when I talk, it comes to me,
Mhm.
then when you talk, it goes to you, and then it flips to me and you together. Like that is all like artificial intelligence aiding me, which enables me to, or us, enables us to put out as much content that we're doing. Like we're talking about doing one today, which we're doing right now, and then we're also talking about Sunday, Monday, and maybe one in between. Like we can do this a lot faster nowadays.
Well, and plus the how it's grabbing the short clips. That's crazy. It's
Yeah,
grabbing these pinnacle moments, and obviously it's shown. I think it's 1.4 or 1.1. There's a few and 900. I mean, the world's grabbing it because it know by algorithm, it knows what the world wants to hear. It knows how it knows how the mind, this human mind is.
yeah,
It's chopping it up so beautiful. Can't lie about
exactly.
that, man. Because I don't think we could, but it would take more time. I'd say that
Exactly. Yeah. So like
time we
you
don't.
have to you have to evolve with the times in order to stay ahead and create, compete. If it's not a competition with people like us or people in your arena, then I mean it's gonna be because the algorithm's gonna pick who is most valid for a user's search. So using
Mhm,
large language models to help with your description and then giving timestamps of your stuff, like that's helping, and all of this is
mhm,
supporting the music that we're making. So
mhm.
this is
There is
what we
something
just
I do want
described.
to
Go
say
ahead.
about.
Go ahead.
There is something I want to do. It's a little bit on topic, a little bit off, but it's just something I just want the listeners to hear. Is that the algorithm in AI, and that like if you're on any of the platforms and you're looking up sad stuff, all you're gonna get is sad stuff. If you look up inspirational stuff, all you're gonna get is inspiration. If you look up how to fix a car, you're gonna get 10,000 videos on how to fix a car. So watch what you search so that you don't brain rot your mind. You know what I'm saying? If you're depressed, I get it. If you're sad, I get it. If you get online, it's going to send you in a direction that's going to keep you there. So if you're about winning, it's going to keep you there. If you're about being sad, it's going to keep you there. You know what I'm saying? If you're about losing, it's going to keep you there. Just be careful on what you're searching because it'll lead you wherever you want to go and it'll keep you there.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll put you in the deep end real quick of whatever topic you're searching.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I just had to give him that because I noticed that.
All right, man. So, I hope that helped put some clarification on, like what do artists need to do in this this evolving landscape. It's definitely look into Riverside, look into any type of large LLM or large language model or AI for people that don't know what that means still. Definitely look into that stuff because you have to identify your efficiencies. You have to identify your efficiencies or deficiencies in order for you to apply efficiency. So the
Mm.
output needs to be better, it needs to be more consistent, and the quality needs to be better. There's a lot of things that the bar just got raised. There's a lot of different things, lot of little areas where the bar got raised where you have to keep evolving. If you want to, like I said, make income when it comes to creating content, which that's huge. I would love to make money from creating content. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life or a job. I want to do this for fun, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
I would say if I had a message for what we've talked about so far, like what I would recommend is like be a master at whatever art you're trying to do, whatever it is, before you ask AI everything. Try it. Like go through the ups and downs before you lean on that. So that when you master your art, you become a black belt and then you hit AI, you'll have more understanding. You'll be able to move further with it than if you just immediately go to AI as a white belt. You're not going to get as far as somebody who studied the craft and then tapped into AI. So like build your knowledge up on whatever it is and then tap that line. Don't just immediately go for the lifeline. That's what I
Absolutely.
recommend.
That is 1000% because you have to know that so the output that AI gives you is only as good as the input that you give it. Now, if you don't
Mm,
know how to describe, like
that's dope.
for instance, like the only way that you're going to get a good output from AI is if you're actually very good with the input that you give it. And I'm going to give you an exact example for this. Um, Going into Suno now, one of the prompts that I make that I'll use so I'll use Grok to make a prompt for Suno, and I'll describe what I want. Now I want 132 BPM Afro house drums using djembe solos, A minor chord, what is it? A minor root note chord progression, 16 bar loops and then I'll say like singled out stems for stem separation within Logic Pro. and then I would say some. Let me see, like transition A minor into emotional E minor chord progression. Like I'm basically telling it exactly what song I want, and then it'll shit it out, right? Now, if I say I just want an Afro house beat, then it's just gonna give me like a generic beat. But I'm telling it exactly what I want, the chord progression, the solos that I want, what instruments that I want to have solos, so I can use those as risers, like drum risers, right? So when I extract them, I can put them in my beat, and then I can have my own drum risers, my own chord progression so I can build onto that stuff. You know, when I do stem separation, where I separate the synth from the piano and the bass, you know, all of that stuff to get the clearest possible version.
Mm,
So I would have never been able to do that stuff if I wasn't good at producing music. So that's what I mean by
mhm.
you have to know what you're talking about, or else you're just gonna get slop. AI, it's called AI slop because you don't know how to give it a good input. So you still need to be a subject matter expert, but you also need to be a subject matter expert when it comes to prompt generation as well.
Yeah, no, and that's a great example because if you were to go into it with that simple, description, you're going to get what everyone else is going to get. When you go into it with the
Exactly.
description of what you want, that's going to be very rare. And the AI is really going to have to work hard to give you what you're asking for, the specific of what you're asking for. So, yeah, man, that example right there shows you like be good at whatever you're doing, whatever it is, work hard without AI. I mean, that's 80s babies. That's what we did. We worked
Hmm.
hard at whatever we wanted to do. And now that we have AI, this AI is super crazy to us because it's like, damn, this thing can really do a lot with what we already have, though. And we input it in, and we can make the thing do magic for us.
I agree, man. I agree. And then the last thing that we were gonna talk about was, do you feel that you need a website yet?
Me personally, I don't feel I'm there yet. I mean, I work hard and I've been doing it for years, but I don't feel I'm there yet. Because I mean, with
Okay.
AI, like you said, it threw me for a loop. You know what I mean? And like, there's so much more I can learn. I mean, and that's the thing with us is that we think so hard. Maybe I could have one right now, but I don't know. I would say in a year, I would say I'd give
Okay.
myself a year, at least 6 months, 6 months to a year because I mean, everything is blazing right now.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'd need time on that one. I
Okay.
wouldn't immediately just jump into it. I don't think that anybody should just jump into it. Okay, so now you have this website, but do you have like great content? Do you have great
Yeah. Yeah.
music? Were you studying long enough to jump to this
I would
next step?
say
I think we go
I
hard.
would say you need to have I would say you would I think you with your catalog that you have, I do think that you can start off with a website because you have a catalog that's good enough, right? And people it's a landing page for you specifically, then start building the articles about you. What I mean by I don't mean like actual I mean you can build actual articles or blog posts, right? And that's where it comes into like how back into the first question, which was, what do you feel making it is, right? Now, if you want to be
Mm,
heard, you have to be understood, right? Now, the best way to be understood is if you're having a place where people can understand you, which would be your website. You know what I mean? Like you
mm.
can connect your thoughts, you can connect your shorts, your YouTube content on your site. You can describe only like exclusively on your site, like how you're feeling, where you're going, the direction that you're going. So it gives people a place where they can truly understand you and you can find your true fans there. Right. And then when the time comes, if you actually do want to start making money, you can start selling products, your products that you made on your site exclusively. So
See that
I do feel, go ahead.
that's where I feel like I'm missing pieces. I have this, I'm starting to build on this, and other parts will probably be easier to come by. But like what we're doing now, thanks to you once again, now now they get to hear me, they get to see me, I guess it's like they get to feel me. You feel what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like they get to see it's a real thing. I'm not just a computer. And I think that's like this year for me would be like what we're doing now and just letting everybody know how we think. And they're tapping into our regular conversations, like you said. This is how we spin our minds this way, but now they get that. You gave us a platform to actually be heard. And I
Hmm.
think like they're loving it. Cause I have a lot of people that hit me up in my inbox and they're like, yo, facts, word, loving it. That's what I'm talking about. Damn. And I'm like, damn, bro. Like, so what we've been saying this whole time to each other, the world needed. And we're
Yeah,
and we're not
yeah,
ashamed to bless other minds, man. That's a dope thing about us is that hey man, here's the gold. We'll give it to you. We want to see you be great. We're not hoarding it to ourselves like the industry would. The industry wouldn't give
yeah.
you this.
Yeah,
They
we're
wouldn't try
doing
to
this
make you
because
better.
we love helping each other out. So it's like, why not just push that out to the world to help other people out? Like that is fun. That's a fun thing to do, and we're gonna keep doing it.
Like to be honest, man, I sat back at work and just over the last couple of interviews and I was just like, man, it's so surreal to like hear when you hear you've touched a lot of people, you know what I mean? It does something to your inner. It's like, damn, dude, that's dope. Like I love to see people be dope. That's always been my thing. I love to see people be dope, man. Even if I'm not even part of it, I love to see my boys just be dope. If what I said pushed them over the edge to kill it, that shit means so much to me just to watch them live their dream. And then, like, you've put on so many people, bro, and you get to sit back and just be like, look at them killing it, and I love that. I love that about life, when you pour in
Yeah,
and you pour into that seed that you planted and they bloom to this beautiful rose and you're like, yo, look at them go. And you just sit back, look at them kill it.
yeah,
It's a dope feeling, man. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's about us.
yeah, yeah,
And if you ain't pushing your brother, if you ain't pushing your brother to be great, you fucking up already.
yeah. You're doing a disservice to your brother,
I mean, is he your brother at that point?
right?
You know?
So yeah, man. What we gotta do now is hopefully we can find somebody that wants to be like. If you come across anybody, any creator, like we gotta set them up, like have a discussion with them, and spit some game to
I have
them, talk
I
about
have
what they're
one,
doing.
I have one that's going to drop some shit. He's going to drop bombs, bro. I have one that's
All
going to
right.
drop
Well,
bombs, I promise.
when does he work with you?
No, he lives in I think Washington.
Okay.
Washington, man. He's my boy Rich Warren. He is a goat. Like he is one of the people that have brought me a long way. You know what I mean? And the knowledge that he gives me, I throw right back at the crew, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's on top of it, man. He's nasty, bro. I promise.
So
You'll have a
yeah,
great conversation with him.
let's lock that in. Maybe Monday then or Sunday if you can.
I can hit him
Let's
up.
do it.
Yeah, I'll let you know ASAP. Like, well, when he's free and he's dope, man. He's a
Okay.
dope artist, dope producer. When you see his setup, man, you're gonna be like, yo, this dude. He's
He's
that
got it.
guy. He
Yeah.
does it all independent. Yeah, he's got the juice, man.
Okay. Yeah.
But
We'll keep talking after I stop recording. I'm just going to say peace to the viewers. I hope you guys got something out of it. It was a simple conversation, but I think that those are some good questions that you can maybe ask yourself and identify where you need to become more efficient so you can also, not only beat the competition, but stay ahead of these technological advances that are going on so you're not kind of stuck in the stone age trying to do 1990s style of creating when it's 2026. Any last words from you?
nah, man. I think honestly, like, man, you said some dope ass shit today, dog, and like, this is gonna help the ones that want to hear it. You feel me?
Hmm.
This is gonna help. I mean, anybody that wants to argue and argue, I don't know what to say for them, but like, we made some valid ass points, and like, hey, man, do your thing, world, and keep
Do your
being
thing.
great and keep striving to be the best you possible, and just keep getting it. Don't quit. Keep going.
All right. Y'all take care.